Hey guys, welcome to With It in the Frame. My name is Richard,
I'm Janet.
and thank you guys for joining us today. We got a lot of topics to discuss. We got the Writers Guild of America strike on the horizon, Captain Marvel directors, reviews of 13 Reasons Why, and Fate of the Furious. We have a lot of stuff today, guys.
So let's get started.
Yeah, let's get started. First things first, we got to talk about that Writers Guild of America strike on the horizon, guys. I know we like to do some jokey stuff on here, but we kind of got to get with some serious news because this is a big deal. Janet's looking at me all shocked. She's like, "Serious? We're not serious."
But when did this strike or talk of the strike happen?
Talks have been breaking down for the past few weeks, and the Writers Guild of America contract expires on the 1st of May. So the deadline is coming up, and recently members of the Writers Guild of America voted to strike if a deal has not been made. And this is a big deal, guys, because the last time the writers' strike hit was back in late 2007, early 2008, and it affected a lot of movies and a lot of television shows. It's the reason why Transformers and X-Men Origins Wolverine and G.I. Joe were rushed into production without a finished script. It's the reason why we lost a lot of television shows like Pushing Daisy because they couldn't keep up. They couldn't survive having to take hiatuses off. And shows like Heroes took a serious decline in qualities after the writers' strike. So a lot is on the horizon. And for those of you who want to know the basics of why the writers are striking, it is because it's about television. That is the big deal this time. It is because of the way television is distributed now with streaming services. The writers don't get a cut in on those profits, whether it be YouTube streaming or Netflix or Hulu. The writers don't get in on that because the last deal was over DVD sales, which obviously DVD sales are down. And with television shows be getting less numbers instead of the usual 22, it's now 12 episodes. They're getting less episodes, which means they're less likely to go to syndication than go right to streaming. So a lot of writers are losing out on their money, guys. So I'm going to say it right now. I stand with the writers. As much as I love having my movies and television show news to talk about, a lot of it's going to take a stop if the writers strike. And the writers have a right to their money because we can't do this without them. So, Janet, any thoughts on this?
No, I agree with you.
Well, guys, that's the biggest thing in entertainment news right now. So keep up to date on that. We'll keep you guys informed. We're going to move on to something a little bit happier and a little bit lighter. We're going to go to Fast and the Furious spin-off film with Jason Statham and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. They want to have this spin-off film to go alongside. I think it might happen before Furious 9 or whatever they're going to call it. I can't think.
I heard they were the best part of Fantastic
Furious.
I heard they were the best part of the last film.
They were the best part of Fantastic Four. Also, they weren't even in it, but they were the best part of it. I'm excited. They were the best part of the movie. So the idea of them getting their own spinoff, I feel like I don't even need to see the 9th or 10th Fast and Furious film. And it's funny because they say like a scene setting up this spinoff film was cut from the end credits of Fate of the Furious.
Oh, really?
It's probably because Vin Diesel was like had an ego trip and he was like, nope, so not gonna happen. So there's that. The next bit of news up is Will Smith as the genie in Aladdin. Now, he isn't officially cast, but there are talks. Pretty big news, Janet. What do you think of this? You love Aladdin.
And I love Will Smith. But, yeah, at first I was, like, really kind of shocked to see that he was even, like, a contender. And I have my reservations, obviously. There comes like a weird race issue with Genie and
very uncomfortable to talk about.
Yeah, but I also kind of feel like whatever Will Smith is in, he always takes the spotlight. And knowing that it's Aladdin and it's Aladdin's story, having Will Smith be Genie could take the film away from Aladdin, and he's gonna be the huge charismatic, like, amazing character in it, and it would take focus away from it, not only with the whole like race issues that could come with it.
Well, didn't Genie sort of take the spotlight away from Aladdin in the first film also, because Robin Williams was such a big part of that movie?
I feel like he complemented Aladdin really well, but I don't know if he because it's still animated, right? So now that it's going to be live action, it's going to be a whole different story.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you, like, normally, but I just feel like after, and I can't believe I'm saying this, something positive about Suicide Squad, but after Suicide Squad, where he really worked well in an ensemble piece, I feel like he might not take away attention. And plus, that's sort of Genie's whole thing, is he's very big, and showboating is going to take away attention.
But you don't think in Suicide Squad, Will Smith was probably one of the best facets of the film.
That's because the rest of the movie sucked, so he was just saving that movie.
Well, there you go.
So if Aladdin sucks, then he'll probably save it. But because Will Smith, even in bad movies, he's probably like the best part of it.
I'm really curious to see who they cast as Aladdin.
That will be interesting because it'll most likely be an unknown actor. So I think maybe Will Smith will be like kind of if Will Smith is truly the genie, it'll be like a safe, kind of like, hey, we got a movie star.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's a worthy successor to Robin Williams?
Yeah, I don't know. It's really kind of up in the air for me.
Yeah, I'm like I don't have really strong opinions about it. Like I'm focusing on Key and Peele as Timon and Pumbaa for The Lion King. I want to make that happen. But if Will Smith is the genie, I've got no problem with that. I think it's, I like Will Smith. I like the genie. I'd rather them do something different with Genie than try to replicate Robin Williams because you can't repeat Robin Williams.
If they do it tastefully and they handle, obviously the race issue well, I feel like it could be a good choice.
I think I feel like the race thing is an issue if they don't make him blue, like in the if he's like a CGI character that Will Smith is sort of doing like motion capture for. I feel like that's like a little less.
I think that'd be weird if they made him blue.
Well, like if they do like a CGI character, like kind of like I don't know. You're right. There are a lot of problematic things to work around that. But anyway, guys, let us know what you think of Will Smith as the genie. Do you guys have a preferred genie actor? I know Kevin Hart was apparently considered, but he sort of passed on the role. That idea made Janet laugh so much. That's the most she's laughed all day.
That would be so weird. Same thing though. Like it would still be a race issue.
Yeah, it's. I'd rather have Will Smith than Jim Carrey, though. Jim Carrey's been a popular name thrown out. It's like, I don't need to see Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey would bring a whole different thing to it than Will Smith.
He would just be Robin Williams light. It would just be another Robin Williams, which I don't want that.
No, it wouldn't.
I want to do something different.
It would not be another Robin Williams.
It's a lot like him. All right.
No, it wouldn't.
Next bit of movie news is the Captain Marvel finally got a director, or should we say directors. After a long search, Captain Marvel was the final film in Marvel's Phase 3 slate to not have a director, and we finally have it in Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck. They're the directors of, I believe, Ryan is credited for directing Half Nelson, but she is credited for writing it, and he's credited for directing it. And they both share credit on the directorial film, it's kind of a funny story. So, very out of the box thinking. What do you think of this Marvel kind of continuing their streak with going for smaller name directors?
I mean, that's kind of interesting. I feel like I don't know too much about these directors, so I don't really have that much of an expectation as far as how it's gonna follow through. So, I mean, that could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not something that's like gonna get us super excited like right away. It's not like they said Spielberg's directing Captain Marvel, but it is like it kind of is in line with their choices of they've gone for more out of the box, like Ryan Coogler doing Black Panther, Taika Waititi doing Thor Ragnarok. They've got James Gunn when he did Guardians, and they've got John Watts doing Spider-Man. So they're going for a lot smaller sort of indie directors and kind of like. And it doesn't like bother me as much like giving them these projects than when like they throw that guy and give him King Kong, where it's like this guy did one movie, and then we're just throwing him right into the big blockbuster scene. It's like these guys have had a little bit of time working in the industry. They've worked in there for a while, so they know what to do. And plus, I love Brie Larson, so I'm just excited for any movie involving Brie Larson. Even I saw Free Fire, and I thought that was pretty dope. All right, next bit of news we're gonna move on to is James Bond. The rights for the James Bond franchise are about to expire at Sony, and now a bidding war has broken out between which studio will take on the franchise. The studios in contention include Sony is wanting to reapply for it, Warner Brothers, 20th Century Fox, Universal, and Annapurna Pictures, which is a much smaller, almost more prestigious film label.
Who holds the rights?
I believe back in the day, MGM originally. MGM held it, and then they obviously went bankrupt, so they've been sort of shopping the Bond franchise. Sony and Columbia have distributed Bond, I think, since Casino Royale.
But who has the rights now?
It's sort of up in the air. Sony, it's sort of like no one knows who's making Bond 25 right now.
No, but like it can't just be up in the air. Like someone has to own it.
Well, I believe it's still the children of the original producers. I can't think of their names off the top of my head, but they are the ones who hold the James Bond like brand.
Okay.
And now it's just a studio for who will distribute the franchise.
Right.
Paramount is sitting out of this because Paramount is obviously going through a restructuring. They're going through a new department head, and Disney is sitting out because Bond doesn't sort of fit with their brand, and Disney sort of has enough stuff to play with. They don't need another multi-billion-dollar franchise. Janet, of these 5 choices, do you think any of these are a good fit for James Bond?
To be honest, you're gonna hate me, but I have not watched any of the James Bond's movies, so I can't say.
Actually, I'm not that offended. I'm not that shocked. I mean, James Bond, it's almost like an institute, but it's almost like if someone hasn't seen it, I'm not gonna get upset about it. It doesn't fill me with violent anger the way like if someone says they haven't seen Star Wars.
I just feel like, I don't know, I've never started watching it, and then I just never felt the need to go see it, because I felt like I would have to start from the beginning, and there's just so many of them, like,
Well, the thing with James Bond is actually you don't really have to. You can pretty much just go into any film, and you don't really need to know.
Probably. I just don't have an interest.
You just don't care.
I know.
That's fine. Me personally, I'm a little sad that Paramount isn't on this list, because Paramount of any of the studios needs a big franchise. Because right now all they have is Transformers. G.I. Joe's G.I. Joe's not going anywhere. They're not doing anything with that. Star Trek underperformed. Ninja Turtles underperformed. They don't really have a lot. They lost Indiana Jones to Disney. They lost Marvel to Disney. They lost DreamWorks Animation. So a lot of their material is gone. And as much as, we got to put focus, everyone's like, too many brands, too many franchises. But some of these studios need that to support themselves and, to report high numbers. And it'd be fitting if it was Paramount, because Indiana Jones was created as a way for Spielberg to make a movie, because they turned him down for James Bond.
Mm.
So it's like, well, we lost Indiana Jones, so let's bring in Bond as our new staple. But I don't know. All the studios would be fine. I think Sony, I hope maybe Sony will keep it, just because I like it at the Sony company so far. We'll probably have to decide if we get a new James Bond with Daniel Craig leaving, or if he's going to stay. So that's pretty much it for as far as main movie news goes. Now we're going to be moving on to trailers, guys. We're first going to start out with the Tupac biopic trailer, All Eyes on Me. Jenna, we watched this right before the show. What did you think?
I thought it was really similar to the first trailer I saw. Nothing too different, but I'm very excited for this film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
California Love just makes for an awesome trailer song, guys. It made Marmaduke an awesome trailer, so, yeah, you guys just heard me right. I referenced Marmaduke. The movie came out like 7 years ago. You haven't thought about that in forever. Yeah, I liked it. It was pretty good. I want to be able to, when it comes out on DVD, to be able to watch Notorious, Straight Outta Compton, and All Eyes on Me is this epic trilogy, because they obviously interconnect and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's that one, and then we have the next trailer is for American Assassin. Dylan O'Brien and Michael Keaton, based off the book of the same name. Jana, you want to take this one? I really got nothing to talk. I saw the trailer and it didn't impress me that much.
That's basically how I felt too. I felt like it dragged. There was nothing interesting about it. I mean, why do they have to keep naming movies with the word American in it? Does that add something to the movie?
You're not counting Captain America though, right?
No. I mean, that makes sense. There's a reason for that. But all these movies, I don't know. Nothing about it sparked anything in me.
Yeah, I saw the trailer and it was okay. If I were to see it at a theater, I'd be like, oh, I might go see that someday, or I might rent it on DVD. I like Dylan O'Brien, the actor in it, and I like Michael Keaton, but nothing about the trailer. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of a kind of a cheaper version of The Accountant trailer.
What?
I don't know, just they're trying to make this more adult action film for kind of a crowd that's tired of summer movies. But just something about the trailer just didn't strike me as all that interesting.
Did you ever watch The Accountant?
I haven't watched it yet. I saw the trailer, though. I saw the trailer a number of times. Because it felt like every movie had the Accountant trailer.
No.
Yeah. Janet's very offended. She loved The Accountant. Janet loved The Accountant. You know what's funny, though, is also when we saw the trailer, Janet, when Michael Keaton came on, she's like, is that Birdman? She didn't say She didn't say Batman. She didn't say Beetlejuice. She didn't say
Michael Keaton.
She was just she didn't say Michael Keaton. She was like Birdman.
He's forever just gonna be labeled Birdman.
Don't say that. I don't
Why?
That kills me.
Oh my God! Moving on.
He's a respected actor. All right.
Yeah.
Next one we have up is The Little Hours. This was a R-rated sex comedy involving nuns.
Sex comedy? You have to add the sex to the comedy part?
I mean, that was a pretty big part of the trailer.
Did we ever say that about any other movie that has to do with sex?
I mean, this one, I don't know.
Is Superbad a sex comedy?
It's a teenage sex comedy. That one, that's an actual category. That's
Really?
Yeah, it was something in the 80s where they would go to market. It's a teenage sex romp. It'd be like.
What?
Yeah, it's a weird label. Sex sells. So, what do you think of the trailer, Janet?
I was very shocked.
Janet, it starts out.
I had no idea. When he's like, what? You told me the title. I was like, okay. And then I see it. I'm like, whoa. whoa.
It starts out very like similar, like calming and peaceful, and then it just goes right into like got Aubrey Plaza
Got
and
some nuns doing some bad non-Catholic things.
yeah. It's funny that they actually included the Catholic Church's review in the movie as
they're
calling
like trash. It's nothing but trash.
It's blasphemous. It's like they were like wore it as a badge of honor.
It's kind of funny though.
Yeah, like
I'm probably gonna see it.
Okay, I feel really weird. I'm definitely gonna go see it just because I love Alison Brie, I love Aubrey Plaza, and I love Kate Micucci. I love the three main actresses playing the nuns. So you tell me the three are in a comedy together, and you have my ticket right there. So I'm totally gonna.
And it has nothing to do with the fact that it's a sex comedy.
Actually, that doesn't have anything to do with it because I just love those three. You could tell me those three would be in any movie, and I'd go see it. I would have gone to see I would have rushed out to see The Accountant if those three were in it.
Oh my god.
I don't even have like a thing against The Accountant.
Just go see it.
I will. All right, next trailer we have up is the trailer for the ABC freeform television show Cloak and Dagger, based off the Marvel Comics characters of the same name. Janet, as someone who has no idea who Cloak and Dagger are, and someone who seemed very confused by the trailer, what did you think?
The ending kind of made me feel like the two, what is it called? From Harry Potter. Oh my god, why am I blanking? With the cloak and then the wizard, the
invisibility cloak?
Yeah,
and the
like,
Elder Wand?
Yeah.
What
is the whole...
Deathly Hallows?
Yes, Deathly Hallows.
The name of the book in the movie.
Okay, I'm like super tired, guys. I don't know if you've noticed. So shut up, Richard. I'm blinking on things right now. But yeah, it made me think of that and how it's like just 2 out of 3, and it's just like okay. But like the trailer starts off just like, you know, these two kids that are just kind of like, they have their problems and they meet up and like, all right, I thought it was like a teen drama, and then all of a sudden there's like magic involved and like, what? It was just like literally the last 10 seconds of the trailer, and I'm pretty sure the trailer was like 2 minutes. I'm just like, all right, is that like shock value, or I was just whatever.
Whatever.
No, it's just whatever.
I was kind of digging it. You know, I think as far as ABC freeform goes, you know, it's a pretty good avenue for these characters. I like the idea of, you know, teenage heroes.
It's a show?
Yeah, it's a show. I like the idea of, you know, teenagers, seeing the teenage side of the Marvel universe, because like all the superheroes in the MCU so far are like adults except for Spider-Man. So I kind of want to see like a teenager's perspective of it, because a lot of superhero comics are sort of based around the idea of, you know, teenagers and whatnot. Like their main demographic are like kids and teenagers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, adult fans. There's nothing wrong with being into comic books, but let's be real here. Most of their creation have been based around kids and teenagers. So I think it's an interesting perspective, and you know, teen melodrama, I'd eat that stuff up. Plus, it looks better than Iron Fist. So, I mean, at this point, any show would look better than Iron Fist. So, Cloak and Dagger will premiere on ABC Freeform in 2018. So, it's a long way for a trailer if it doesn't drop.
Wait, why is it on Freeform there? Why isn't it just like on Netflix?
I think because they're trying to distinguish, because it obviously is more the Freeform crowd, teenagers. It fits more in that line. So it's like the Netflix shows will be more adult, and they'll obviously be more focused on like the New York grittier heroes, like the Daredevil and the Punisher and Jessica Jones. And then the Freeform stuff, which will be like this and New Warriors, will be more teenager, family friendly.
Okay.
All right. So now we're going to move on to some Arizona film news, guys. I'd like to report on this stuff. As we hinted at on our Facebook Live video, Justice Served, the second ASU feature film produced here, will be premiering in Harkins.
Yeah, Arizona Mills.
Arizona Mills Harkins. It was a great opportunity. I worked on the film, and so did my producer, Kevin. We were both on the set, and it was such a fun time. It's going to be really fun to see with like a packed crowd and like an audience.
Cool. I'm really happy for you guys.
I know, it's really cool.
Is it this Friday? Or not today, but like next Friday.
Yeah, I believe it's next Friday. We don't have an exact date yet. We're going to get a date soon and post it on the Facebook group.
And I think it's only for 1 week, so you guys make sure to check it out.
Go see it. And that's pretty much as far as we have for the local Arizona news.
Well, there actually was the ASU Film Festival.
That's right, we got that.
I think yesterday or 2 days ago, a couple people that we know won. Awesome films were shown. The ASU capstone showcase for the semester is next Friday with some cool films from seniors graduating this year. And then I think the Arizona International Film Festival
in Tucson
is this weekend. So if you guys are in Tucson, go check it out.
Yeah, guys.
Not last week, but 2 weeks ago, I was at the Phoenix Film Festival screening my film, which was awesome. And yeah, there's just a lot of festivals, a lot of small festivals that we just sometimes go under the radar. So go check them out if you can.
Yeah, you've got nothing better to do. There's nothing in theaters right now.
Well, there would be Justice Served.
That'll be Justice Served. That's the only other thing. That's the only thing you should be seeing in theaters right now.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for the Arizona news, guys. We're now going to be moving on to some reviews we have. We got reviews for a television show on Netflix as far as 2 movies go. Janet, do you want to start us off with your review of?
Sure. So I'm sure you guys have seen freaking 13 Reasons Why all over your news feed. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I know a lot of my friends have seen it. And I was intrigued. At first, it was like, wasn't sure if I wanted to go into it because it kind of seemed like a teen drama. I don't if you guys know the storyline. It's basically a girl killed herself and left 13 audio tapes that are supposed to be delivered to very specific people of the reasons why she committed suicide. And that whole storyline just seemed really sick to me. And just watching the first episode, I'm like, this is so sick. Like, basically, she's gone and she's trying to terrorize these people with the thought that they led her to kill herself, and it just kind of, and then these audio tapes are long and there's 13 of them, and it just felt so sick. But I think that's maybe the reason why I kept watching, because it's intriguing and you're wondering what did this person do, what did that person do, why, and it's cool. I think I'm halfway through, and I'm definitely gonna keep watching because I guess I'm a sick person. I'm intrigued. It's well done. I like the actors. They're really cool. I feel like at some points in the story, it becomes very cliche with what the jocks act like, and high school's not always that way, but I do think they do a good job portraying high school. It's just sometimes, obviously the jocks are going to beat the kids up, and they have these cliches. So once you get past that, I feel like it's a good show, and definitely worth the hype, I guess.
I'm going to take a look at it. Once I finish Mystery Science Theater 3000, I'll definitely take it up. 2 totally different shows.
Yeah.
It'll be a nice way to bring me down from my comedic high.
Yeah.
But it looks good. I do want to check it out.
Yeah, and I think the characters are really realistic. Besides, the jocks, I feel like the main character, I forget what his name is, but he has a lot of dimensions to him, and I feel like he's someone that a lot of people can relate to. So
I'm going to take a look.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that's a review of 13 Reasons Why. You can catch it on Netflix. Now I've got reviews for the movies Fate of the Furious and Trainspotting II. Just going to start out with Fate of the Furious. This one is really short, guys. Everything with Vin Diesel sucks. Everything with Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham and literally every other member of the crew is awesome. You can kind of tell that Vin Diesel and The Rock feuded, because I don't think there's ever a scene where Vin Diesel and The Rock, even when they're in the same scene, that they're filming at the same time.
Oh, wow.
It's very obvious that they're in different rooms.
Really?
Yeah, and that's why I think part of the plot Vin Diesel is away from the rest of the crew is just because I don't know if they can't put up with him.
Well, isn't that the story?
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason why it's a story is because it's the other actors are just getting sick of him.
What?
I don't know.
Is there something outside of the story that led you to believe that?
I don't.
Is there drama?
I don't know. It makes I realize the movie works every time it cuts away from Vin Diesel's storyline and into Michelle Rodriguez and Tyrese Gibson and Ludacris, and their scenes are all fun. It's really fun, the character dynamics, especially when they bring in The Rock and Jason Statham. Those two have such great chemistry together. I was after that movie, I was please let them get a spin-off film, and now that we're getting it, it's awesome. But I don't know. I don't really have a love or an attachment to this franchise, so it's I don't really have a strong opinion. There's nothing about this movie that bothered me. I'm happy that I saw it, but just every time it would cut back to Vin Diesel and Charlize Theron, I was just really kind of it just took me out of it.
Oh, wow.
And you know what I think it actually might be now that I think about it, as I'm saying it? I think Paul Walker, sadly, is missing. He was the heart of the franchise, and his absence really is felt because they try to replace him with Scott Eastwood, even down to his haircut, and he
Scott Eastwood is in everything.
He is, but he's in everything, but
so small.
He's in everything, but he's also in nothing because he never levels as a personality.
He's just a really small part in every movie.
Well, here he's a big part, but I don't remember him. Everything good about Scott Eastwood's character is because of an interaction with either Kurt Russell or Tyrese Gibson.
Oh, wow.
And they even at the end of the movie they put him in the shirt that Paul Walker was famous, the flannel shirts and his haircut. It's part of me is is he wearing just different shoes to distinguish what makes him Paul Walker, diet Paul Walker? So I don't know. Fate of the Furious, probably everybody saw it already. It was a big opening weekend. It'll probably dominate until Guardians comes out in theaters. My just opinion on it was alright. It was a fun action movie. It was like Live Free or Die Hard. And the last one we have up is Trainspotting II. And a lot of you know Trainspotting is like one of my favorite films, so I was really looking forward to this sequel. I went in with high expectations, and they not only were met, but they surpassed in a way I didn't think they could be surpassed. It was the perfect sequel for the first Trainspotting. It's like a perfect mirror image. You don't always need a trilogy to complete something. Sometimes you just need two films to serve as yin and yang. The first one is very, energetic and youthful with hints of darkness, where this one is very dark, depressing, and much somber with hints of like energy and madness at the frame. I just can't say enough good things about it. I loved it. I wanted to go back and see it right after I saw it because I love these characters. I love being able to catch up with them after 20 years. It didn't have to be this, masterpiece of cinema. It just had to be a nice return for these characters and catch up with what they've been doing. And Ewan McGregor is wonderful as always. Ewan McGregor does this thing where he's obviously gotten older, but he doesn't age. Like, he's just still handsome, and he's really awesome. I love Ewan McGregor. Like, total man crush. I just want to have dinner with Ewan McGregor and tell him how beautiful he is. But the two standouts to me, honestly, are Johnny Lee Miller and Robert Carlyle. Johnny Lee Miller is someone who is currently on Elementary on, I think it's Fox, as Sherlock Holmes. And he's someone who I feel that we deserve in more movies because he's so much fun and he's got such an attitude to him. And then Robert Carlyle, he's the MVP of this movie. He steals the show. His character in the original, Begbie, was very violent, but it was sort of a funny violence. But I love that they show with age that violence is no longer funny. It's actually terrifying and frightening. And Robert Carlyle is a great character actor. He's been killing on Once Upon a Time since that show started. And to see him go back to this role, there were moments in this movie I was like, I want him in everything. If I had it my way, Robert Carlyle would have been in Fate of the Furious. He'd be on 13 Reasons Why. He'd be in Mystery Science Theater 3000. He probably would make everything better. So Trainspotting 2, guys, if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's worth watching, especially if you've seen the original. It makes you go back and look at the original a different way. The original enhances this film, but you don't even need to see the original because they have a lot of moments that kind of catch you up. And the idea of using nostalgia as the theme of the movie is something I don't even want to spoil it for you. Just go watch it. So, guys, that's our reviews for the day. We're now going to take to our live questions, and we have first verification. Justice Served premieres May 5th. Harkins, Arizona Mills. Go watch it, guys. What a great way to spend Cinco de Mayo. I'll be there. Kevin's going to be there. I'm going to make Kevin go. He doesn't, we're just going to be there. We're going to be so excited.
That sounds fun.
All right.
Thanks. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to tune in next Friday for our next Within the Frame. I'm Janet. You can follow me on Twitter, JanetSalas93, Instagram, Janet Salas, and my YouTube page, My Road to Hollywood.
And you guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RLFake94. Guys, thank you for watching, and thank you for staying within the frame. Have a great weekend.